Hello and welcome to my Premier League predictions for the 2021 season. I'm doing my predictions after the transfer window because I do feel like a lot of the big teams haven't made the signings which I expected them to make. We also got a little bit of early season form in to throw in there as well. But if you also want to give me your predictions as well for the season in the comments below, and then 8-9 months time once the season is finished we can go back and look at them and compare them with everybody else. And also if you want to hit the like button if you do enjoy it. But enough of that stuff already, let's get straight into it, starting off in 20th place. Finishing bottom, I do have Fulham. They've had a very poor start and the defence is just absolutely awful like they were last time they was in the Premier League. A lack of goals going forward. I feel like there's going to be too much ownership on Mitrovic. A few good loan signings such as Areola, Loftus-Cheek and Lookman, but overall I don't feel like Fulham are strong enough to stay up. In 19th place, we have West Brom, another team that's conceded a lot of goals already. The 3-0 slip-up against Chelsea kind of shows the weaknesses in their defence. There will be a lot of goals in their games, but I do feel they're going to concede a lot more than they are going to score. Pereira looks a very good player. It's going to be very difficult to keep hold of them, but he is a bargain for around about 8 million, which they're standing for. But overall, the team does have the lowest market value in the Premier League. In 18th, we have Sheffield United. Maybe a surprise to some, but not really a surprise to myself. Defensively, they're going to be a lot weaker this year without the likes of Dean Henderson. Ramsdale is in the net. He's not a bad keeper, but he did go down with a relegated team as well. Lack of goals going forward. Is Bruce the answer? I don't think so. I feel like they've signed a lot of Championship players this year who do have the potential to be Premier League players, but they're not good enough and they're not proven Premier League players yet. Hopefully Sheffield United can stay up because they have signed a lot of good young players as well, but second season syndrome is a thing and they're going to find it very difficult this year. In 17th, we have Burnley, another team with a very, very poor start. And I'm very worried with the lack of signings for Burnley. Dale Stephens is the marquee signing this year. But if you're going to be depending a lot on him, then you're going to struggle very much this year. They did have a very good season last season, Burnley. They did finish 10th. And I feel like Dyche can keep them up this year. But overall, I feel like Burnley are going to struggle. 16th, we have Brighton. Brighton, I can see another inconsistent season from them, but are good enough to stay up this year. Veltman is a solid signing, as well as keeping Ben White as well from the likes of Leeds. Also, if they can keep Lallana fit, that's going to be a big plus for Brighton. They're going to be relying a lot more on Maupay this year, but hopefully he's not going to be doing a crying celebration if they do go down this year. In 15th, we have Crystal Palace. Eze is a very good signing for Palace. It takes a lot of pressure off Zaha, but they are going to be dependent on Zaha again going forward. Defensively, they don't look too bad. They are going to make individual errors like they did against Chelsea. One thing I'm surprised about with Palace, they did sell Saul off and he did score 24 goals on loan last season. I'm surprised they did sell him, but they did cash in for 18 million, so they are moving on with him. But I think another kind of average season, a very inconsistent for Palace, is going to be what's happening again this year. Hopefully they can kick on and do better than what I expected, but I just can't see it. In 14th place, we have Southampton. A lot of these teams in and around these positions are going to be very inconsistent, but hopefully they can kick on to be a little bit more. Danny Ings is going to be very vital to this team, but if he does get injured, I do worry for Southampton. Højbjerg is another big loss in midfield. They've had a few good young signings and also brought the likes of Theo Walcott back, but I don't expect anything spectacular from Southampton this year. In 13th place, we have West Ham. West Ham have done brilliantly to keep hold of the likes of Declan Rice. Souček looks a very good player, and so does Koufal, the right back. A team which is disappointed for far too long, West Ham. They've got a lot of big name players who I do feel like they are playing a lot more for the money than they are for the shirt. I know a lot of people have West Ham finishing near the bottom, but I do feel like they've had a good start this season, and maybe this could be the season where they finally start to shine. In 12th place, we have Newcastle United. Newcastle have had really good business in the window, and Callum Wilson is a proven goal scorer. Jamal Lewis is a very good fullback and he's promising. Ryan Fraser going forward, if they can reignite the form that he had 2 years ago, he's a bargain on a free transfer. And also Jeff Hendrick from Burnley, he'll be another good player to add for them to go forwards. And they've got the likes of Saint Maximin, who looks a fantastic player. He could really rip up teams. This is why I have Newcastle a lot higher than the teams below them. But they're still showing inconsistencies already this year when they did go to West Ham and beat them 2-0. But then, they're at home to Brighton and lose 3-0. So that's going to be the story of the season again for Newcastle. Hopefully they can cut those results out. In 11th place, I have Aston Villa. The surprise package this season so far, a new contract for Grealish is a really good signing for Villa. Also, they brought in a lot of good players as well, such as like Matty Cash, Martinez from Arsenal, Traore from Lyon, and also Barkley on loan from Chelsea. Also, the big money signing, Ollie Watkins. This is the kind of signing which they should have made instead of signing Wesley last year. Watkins is a proven goal scorer in the English leagues. Hopefully, he can kick on with his impressive form against Liverpool. I'm not sure if Villa can get top 10. I do feel like they are going to gradually go down in the league eventually, but they have given themselves the best possible platform to start the season. In 10th place, you have Leeds. Hopefully the Leeds fans are very happy with this, but they are a very difficult team to predict this year. They do have some championship players and some kind of interesting signings so far with the likes of Rodrigo. The signing for 28 million and only 4 goals last season seems a bit of a strange one to me, especially when you compare him to Ollie Watkins. But Bielsa seems to get the best out of these kind of championship/premiership players, to which I feel like they could get close to a top 10 finish. The new signings are going to be the difference between where Leeds do finish this season. If they can perform and he can get the best out of them, then they could even finish higher than 10th. In 9th, I have Wolves. I'm so unsure on Wolves at the moment. They have lost 2 main players in Doherty and Diego Jota. Recruitment is usually good at Wolves, but Wolves don't have European football this season, so they might be like the underdog team this year. Hopefully they can, because I do like Wolves. They are a very good team. But if Wolves don't get Europe this year, then I do feel like they're going to lose a lot more key players. And maybe it's like a make or break season for Wolves this year. In 8th place, I have Manchester United. This is the biggest change to my predictions since the start of the season. The form, the transfers, all of it has been terrible. My prediction for United this year is they're going to be bottom half of the table until they sack Ollie, and then Mauricio Pochettino is going to return to the Premier League and take over. He's been linked with them for a long while, but some of the signings like Van der Beek as well, very good player. But is he going to get ahead of Pogba and Fernandes? I just cannot see it. Tellers at left back is not a bad signing, but I don't think any of these were actually Ollie's targets this year, and this is the reason why I feel like United are going to drop down to 8th place. In 7th, we have another team that started off very well this year, which is Everton, and they've started to beat the teams in and around them to which Everton should actually beat. But even in the transfer market, they've done a great job in the likes of Alan, James Rodriguez, Decore, and Ben Godfrey. But hopefully Pickford can pick up his form this year, because he's going to be the reason why Everton do finish 7th or even higher. But overall, Ancelotti's done a fantastic job so far. In 6th place, we have Arsenal, another team which the manager took over last season and is doing a great job so far. I feel Aubameyang will have to have another 20-goal season like he has previously to keep them moving forward. Consistency will be a key for Arsenal this season. It's probably the first time though in many years where I feel like they can actually compete against the big teams. And also getting European qualification is a must this season if Arteta wants to take them forward. But there's still work to be done at Arsenal before I feel like they can be a top 4 team. Once they get rid of more unwanted players like Mustafi and Ozil, that will free up wages to bring in more quality players. In 5th, I have Leicester. Leicester's poor run of form towards the end of last season has put some doubts in my mind. Yes, they started brilliantly again this year, but I feel one injury to Vardy could hurt them massively. He's vital to the team, and for Leicester's sake, I hope he stays fit because they are frightening with him. On the transfer side, Ben Chilwell got a big money move to Chelsea, but I feel Leicester will do well without him regardless. Will be interesting to see Justin's development as he's naturally a right back, but can also play both sides, but not a natural left-footed left back, which may hurt them. Castagna as well looks really good going forward. I feel he's a perfect fit for Leicester. Lack of depth covering for Vardy could cost Leicester top 4 and maybe even more places. He is turning 34 in January, but to be fair to him, he's been consistently scoring regardless of his age. In the top 4, starting with Spurs, who I feel everybody has written them off this year. Mourinho has turned them around, but he's still got a lot of work to do with the defence. Spurs have had a great summer this year. They finally signed a striker in Carlos Vinicius, who scored 24 goals last season. 2 new fullbacks in which Spurs needed desperately as well. Højbjerg looks a great fit in midfield, and yes, of course, Gareth Bale. Once Bale is fit, Spurs will have one of the best trios going forward this season. Spurs now have the quality and depth for them to challenge for top 4, and who knows with Mourinho, maybe a trophy. 3rd place, we have Chelsea. I'm a Frank Lampard fan. I think he's done brilliant as a manager. Took Derby to the playoff final first season, got Chelsea top 4 with a transfer ban, and developing youngsters, but he still has a mountain of pressure on him to succeed. So far, I think Kai Havertz is a brilliant signing. He's so calm and composed on the ball. Thiago Silva will bring consistency and experience, and he'll also help the Chelsea youngsters develop as well. I am not sure yet on Timo Werner. He looks like a drugged up roadrunner so far, and I feel like he doesn't suit Chelsea, but time will tell. Chilwell and Ziyech are also good signings. It'll be interesting to see where Ziyech fits in. And lastly, Chelsea have always needed a keeper, but is Mendy really the answer? I am not sure at the moment. I have Man City in 2nd for one reason, and that's injuries. So many of the players get injured, and mainly the strikers. So far this season, Aguero and Jesus has already missed the games. Laporte was out last year, and it made a huge effect. Another point I want to make about City is the sale of Leroy Sané. In the 2 seasons which City won the title, he was fantastic. One of the best players in the league. Last season he got injured and also cost City. I think Bayern have got him for a bargain of just around about 40 million, I believe the signing was. Lastly, the signings which they have brought in, such as Ruben Diaz, is a great signing to go along with Laporte. But Ake, I'm not too sure if he will get the games he wants, but time will tell with Ferran Torres. As champions again, I do have Liverpool. They've signed the players in positions which they needed. Diego Jota in the front three, Tomiskas at left back, and also Thiago in midfield. Liverpool won't be as impressive this year, but they will need to rotate. But I still feel like they are strong enough to go ahead and win the title. Also, losing Alisson, from last season and also from the game against Villa, really does make Liverpool vulnerable. I feel Klopp will address this next summer and Liverpool will be even stronger. I'm looking at around about 85 to 90 points for Liverpool to win the league this year. As I mentioned earlier, if you guys want to put your predictions down there below, if there's some that you agree with and some that you don't, leave that in the comments below as well. Make sure you also click on the like button and even press subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to be doing some previews and reviews of the Premier League on the weekend, so look out for it for this weekend. But as I say, guys, hopefully this season is going to be a fantastic season, which is going to be unpredictable. I think that's what everybody would like with the whole pandemic and everything that's going down with a congested fixture list. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!